Creative Mind and Success. By Ernest Holmes. Our conditions governed by our thinking. It is easy for the average person to see how it is that mind can control, and to a certain extent govern, the functions of the body. Some can go even further than this, and see that the body is governed entirely by consciousness. This they can see without much difficulty, but it is not so easy for them to see how it is that thought governs their conditions, and decides whether they are to be successes or failures. Here we will stop to ask the question, if our conditions are not controlled by thought, by what, then, are they controlled? Some will say that conditions are controlled by circumstances. But what are circumstances? Are they cause or are they effect? Of course they are always effect. Everything that we see is an effect. An effect is something that follows a cause, and we are dealing with causation only. Effects do not make themselves, but they are held in place by mind, or causation. If this does not answer your thought, begin over again, and realize that behind everything that is seen is the silent cause. In your life you are that cause. There is nothing but mind, and nothing moves except as mind moves it. We have agreed that, while God is love, yet your life is governed absolutely by mind, or law. In our lives of conditions, we are the cause, and nothing moves except as our mind moves it. The activity of our mind is thought. We are always acting, because we are always thinking. At all times we are either drawing things to us, or we are pushing them away from us. In the ordinary individual this process goes on, without his ever knowing it consciously, but ignorance of the law will excuse no one from its effects. What, someone will say, do you think that I thought failure or wanted to fail? Of course not. You would be foolish to think that, but according to the law which we cannot deny, you must have thought things that would produce failure. Perhaps you thought that failure might come, or in some other way you gave it entrance to your mind. Thinking back over the reason for things, you will find that you are surrounded by a mind, or law, that casts back at the thinker, manifested, everything that he thinks. If this were not true, man would not be an individual. Individuality can mean only the ability to think what we want to think. If that thought is to have power in our lives, then there has to be something that will manifest it. Some are limited and bound by law, through ignorance. This law is sometimes called karma. It is the law that binds the ignorant, and gives freedom to the wise. We live in mind, and it can return to us only what we think into it. No matter what we may do, law will always obtain. If we are thinking of ourselves as poor and needy, then mind has no choice but to return what we have thought into it. At first, this may be hard to realize, but the truth will reveal to the seeker that law could act in no other way. Whatever we think is the pattern, and mind is the builder. Jesus, realizing this law, said, "It is done unto you even as you have believed." Shall we doubt, but that this great way shower knew what he was talking about? Did he not say, "It is done unto you"? What a wonderful thought! It is done unto you. Nothing to worry about. It is done unto you. With a tremendous grasp of the power of true spiritual thought, Jesus even called forth bread from the ethos of life, and at no time did he ever fail to demonstrate that when one knows the truth he is freed, by that knowledge,